Then I gotta go over here and then like this, I think. So this is how I have to do it. All right. Pretty sure I'm ready. So this is how I have to do it. Oh man, it's gonna be so late. All right, let me turn this down. Pretty sure I'm ready. All right, guys. Now I think I'm ready. Let me see. Where's the comments? Hey, what's up, Charles Wood? I'm trying to. I guess this is where I'm gonna have to see the chat. Why is this backing up like that? Thank you, baby. Mm-hmm. All right, I can't see myself moving now for some reason. Why is it like that? What is going on? What the heck just happened? All right, I guess I can see my hand. I see you guys. What's up, Blades and Fades? I'm backed up. That's the only problem. So I am going to be like 30 seconds late on comments. I'm going through StreamYard, but it's different. This is the first time I've done this, guys. So give me some credit here. I figured it out in a way. It looks like only members are commenting. But I believe anybody can watch. I did try to make it public for people to watch, but only members can comment. Later, I'll do just members only, where only you guys can see. But let's get to sharpening. Let's sharpen something. So, how many people do we have in here? We have 8 people, 10 people in here. Don't forget the like button, guys. Now, I was going to first start off just teaching like the basics of sharpening, but since this is, just like a test run, I'm going to kind of mess around and just sharpen because I want to see angles and everything and see how it's going to look for you guys and how I can zoom in, because I might move, see, like right there, like that's not good for my arm to be in the camera. So I want to figure it out. This is just soap and water. Everybody always asks me what this is. It's dish soap and water. And what you want to do is you want to put enough dish soap in the water so that when you shake it up, hear how the sound went away? That you want to make it where the bubbles expand and you stop hearing the water splash back and forth. Now, you don't need this on diamond plates, but on VENEV diamond stones, you absolutely want that. So I have some knives in here for sharpening that are like people paying for me to sharpen them. I'm not going to do those on camera. I don't think that would be right, and I want to be more focused with those. So, but I got plenty of my own knives that I need sharpened. Actually, I have so many knives that I need to sharpen right now. It's crazy, of my own, and I never, because I'm always sharpening everybody else's. I don't get enough time to sharpen my own. So right now we're going to sharpen my Mannix because it is dumb dull. What's up, Talica? Going to pick up my enchiladas, then I'll watch when I'm rewiring a plug. All right, bud, no problem. This is just a practice run anyways. I'm probably going to have to do this a different way next time, because I want to be able to see better, like see right at the exact same time. And it's like 10 seconds late. But I can also record stuff and upload it only to the members. You guys can see this pretty good. I only got one light over here, so it's actually pretty good for the lighting, and then I can always zoom in like that. Thing is I don't see it till 10 seconds later. That's the one problem. I'm here for moral support, man. I appreciate it, man. I really do. You have no idea. I appreciate anybody jumping in right now, because I need people in here just to figure this out. I'm right now, I'm not like really trying to sharpen. I'm just like looking at it, seeing how it looks on the camera. How does that look to you guys? And give me some feedback too. Like, would this be something if this would be a good view or a bad view for you guys? It seems like it'd be a pretty decent view. One good thing is I think I might be able to, especially with this camera, let you guys see the edges. The problem is that it's 10 seconds late. I do not like that. Oh, you know what? I could always go like, oh, I just thought of this. Oh, yeah, I could go like that. Now I can actually see what you guys see for a second. I mean, it's not the clearest because it's my little lens, but what's up, Mason? View's pretty good. Good. I'll definitely make it better because right now, if I had the lighting coming the other direction, you'd be able to see the edge clear as day. Right now, you can't really see it too good. Oh, whoever wound up getting the XL button lock, I fixed it. So I'm going to upload a video here shortly. It's only like 2-3 minutes long. So, but it shows you exactly how to fix that Kaiser button lock. Everybody was having issues. I got so many comments having the exact same issues I was having, where like when you'd open it up, the thing would just rattle back and forth, and the detent was like so stiff you can't even deploy it. Hey man, thank you. I appreciate it. I like your name too. Because every time I say it, I can say, hey man. I'm gonna back you guys out just a little bit. What's cool about this is I'll be able to zoom in. You like say if somebody's like, hey, I'd like to, have a little bit more of a close-up, I'll be able to do that. I'll be able to back it up so you guys can see my arms. Right now, like I said, this is just a good test run so that I can see and get a good feel of how this is gonna go when we do it seriously. Because I thought about doing 2 different cameras where I can switch them back and forth. I can do that. The one problem is since this is the first time I've ever done this, there's different modes and different things you have to set up through your live stream. And if I'm going to, like right now, going through StreamYard, can I pull up your comments? Let me see something. No, I can't. So I'm through StreamYard, but the only benefit to it is I see my Neves Knives thing. That's it. What?
I'm going to turn this on. There's going to be an unavoidable noise, but I'm going to instantly put my headphones on.
Okay.
Don't freak out. It's going to go away instantly.
Okay, well, I'll freak out
for the
10 seconds it's on.
It's just going to go except for without all the rasp.
But I don't think I'm going to use StreamYard next time because, like I said, the only benefit is seeing the Neves Knives thing, which is cool. I do like that, but I don't think it's going to do us any good. I think the best way to do it would just be going straight through YouTube, and it'll be the same thing. What?
I can get it to show up on YouTube for you.
The Neves Knives and everything?
The watermark. Yep, I can have it.
Okay, well, then maybe that'll be fine then. The problem is for people that are newer to sharpening, it might help if they can see your arms and elbow. So you can, oh, for sure. I definitely want to do that. And I can back out. That's what I was saying. I can back out and I can move the camera a little bit. Remember, I set up not knowing how it was going to look. No, it's fine. No, I got it actually really good. See, I can back it out like that where you guys can see really good. And I agree, Blades. It's good to see my arms and zoom in and be able to do both. And that's kind of the beauty with having this camera, man, is I can zoom it all the way in if we need to. And the worst part about doing the lives when I used to do the other live sharpenings was afterwards, I could not show the edge for shit. So like when I would try to show people, when there'd be facets on my edge or something like that, I wouldn't even be able to show it. Now, if my lighting was right, I'd really be able to show it. But now I could just zoom right into the edge and it should get clear as long as I have it on the right setting. before, like, I mean, I'm talking about wasn't clear at all. Let me see how this looked. That didn't look bad, but it does look bad because the lighting's not right. I only have the one light right here. Now I know better. I'm going to have the lighting from the other direction so that it's pushing off the wall the other direction. Right now it's to my left instead of to my right. But the first sharpening, the real sharpening I want to do, I have multiple people. Some are freehanders and some are fixed angled systems, but we'll be able to do a little bit of them both at the same time. I have two fixed angled systems next to me right now, so I can pull those in anytime, and we can do freehand on the stone. Now I want to do some things that are relatable with both. That's going to be universal, so it doesn't matter if you have a system or freehand, because it's the same knowledge goes both ways. So like right now I'm starting with my my really coarse stone. This is a 80 micron, so it's is that, yeah, wait, it's the F80, I think, or no, sorry, it's like 150 micron or something like that. I forget exactly what one this one is. What is it? I always forget. And the numbers get so difficult to see. That's the one problem with these stones. Oh, you know what? We're going to do something right now for this test run because I want to show you guys this. We might as well do it right now. I'm going to bust it out. So stay right here because fades, blades and fades, you're definitely going to want to see this. And anybody who's going to get the VENEV stones, you definitely want to see this. So this is a stone flattener. Now this is very important to anybody who's going to use natural stones, VENEV stones, anything like that. You want to get one of these. They're not very expensive, but it's basically a flat piece of glass. And then we got some silicon carbide right here. It's just a bag of powder, and it's an abrasive. This one's 60 grit silicon carbide. You guys can see that. So what I'm going to do is I have a little thing in here somewhere. I use a bottle cap. A bottle cap seems to be plenty, so I just have a water bottle cap right here. And I take and I grab 1 cap's worth. Pour it in the middle. Now this is a must if you get VENEV stones or any type of resin bonded stones, or a lot of water stones, so many different stones. This is so beneficial. Now, especially with the VENEV stones. Now, I always say make sure you have a conditioning stone, right? You want some conditioning stones for sure. But the conditioning stones are like the in-between thing. So, like say if I'm sharpening and I notice my stone's not working really good, I can get it and I can do the surface. I have big stones that I do this with too. Flattening stones and just other aluminum oxide stones. And I just take them, I can take them to the sink and just give them a quick scrub, or I can do it right here and give them a good scrub. And basically that is going to bring the diamonds out. Now this will flatten the whole stone and bring it back to brand new. So if you're noticing that your conditioning stone's not working really good and you're really not getting a lot of feedback or as much feedback as you would like, you want to get this. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take 1 capful of water on top of our dust, our silicon carbide powder. Now we are ready to flatten. We're almost ready. So we're going to take one of my 6-inch stones. So these are the ones I use for the Blitz system. These are the ones I use for the work sharp. You can see these ones are already done. You see how new they are. So look at the difference here. These ones I did, and you can see the difference in the stone. Like, look at that. Now, if you've seen the difference between, let me get one of my big ones. You can kind of see the difference there. Now watch when we bring this sucker back to new. This one right here. We'll do this one first. Okay, since we got it pulled out, you can see all the marks. Now, what we're going to do is we need a pencil. I don't have a, damn, I should have grabbed a pencil. I could use a marker, but I don't want to do that. Normally, you just would take a pencil and make a line on it and just make a zigzag line, make a grid basically on the surface. And the reason why is because you want to make sure it gets flat. Sorry, I'm just adjusting the camera for you guys so you guys can see really good. Okay, now we're gonna move it around. It's gonna get a little loud, guys. And if you need to add a little water, you can. Now watch how fast this works. Now, I'm not going to reuse this stuff. I'm just going to dump it after it's done. But look at that. Basically brand new. I'm going to do it for just a couple more seconds. But see how fast that was? And it reflattens it because this is a perfectly flat surface. And the reason why you'd write or make the grid on there with the pencil is so that to make sure that you hit every corner. You know, once the pencil's gone, you know you hit everything. You might even do it twice. After you've done it once, put another grid on there, do it again. Okay, let's do this other side. Sorry, I know it's really loud, guys. What's up, Addicted to Knives? Bees Blades is in the house. I don't even have to tell the members to sign up to Bees or to follow Bees Blades, but there's probably other people. Oh, 41 people are watching. I know we don't have 41 members. Cheaters! You guys are cheating. Getting some of that the members content. So, no, I don't mind. Only if you guys are wondering why your comments aren't coming through, only the members can comment on this video. So if you want to comment and you want to be able to ask questions or have me show something or whatever, you just got to become a member. This is the first test run for the members. But yeah, guys, anybody who has VENEV stones, this is a lifesaver right here. Like I said, brings up, if you have VENEV stones, you know that after you've used them 10, 12 times, they start feeling weak. They don't feel as good as they once were. This brings it right back to the first time you used them. If you remember how aggressive they were. That's it. And see how fast that is? Now, using the aluminum, the conditioning stone, yeah, it works, but not like this. This just takes, like, it's kind of like the difference between using a coarse stone when you're sharpening and a fine stone, right? A fine stone, yeah, it can hone, but it's not going to sharpen your knife. Or I'm just going to do this one last one. Actually, you know what? I'm going to slap this big one on here in a second. I would, but I'm not paid for another 2 weeks. So where can we get the round glass? Okay, so I linked it in one of my last videos with sharpening in it, but I can actually give you a link to it. So after this, let me know, and I'll send you a link. I can send it to you through email, on Instagram, or I can pin it in the comments for you. You know what? Here, let me while I'm doing this, I'll get it for you guys. It's not that much money. It's like $50 or something. Let me grab my affiliate really quick, and I'll give it to you guys. Because, like I said, if you have VENEV stones, this is a must. It is a must-have. You don't have to get it when you first get your stones, but eventually you're going to want it. Now, like I said, 10, 12 sharpenings in, you're going to start thinking about it for sure. It just depends on how much you sharpen, how thick the edges are, because you could get by with 20 or 30 sharpenings if the blade geometry is thin. Now, if you guys didn't hear me talking yesterday in the live, I got an AD 20.5 reblade coming and magnet cut at 64.5 HRC. That is going to be insane, guys. We're going to have the plug for whatever blade shape. All right, I'm getting the link right now. Trying to find it. I forget what I called it before. Sorry, I'm trying to get the link. Glass. Damn it. I'll find it here in a second because my hands are dirty and I don't want to touch my phone. But here in a second, I'll get it and I'll put it in the chat. Or wait, I don't know if I can actually put it in the chat. Either way, I'll figure out a way to get it to you. If I have to, I'll pin it in the comments after this video. All right, so now this stone is brand new, and I can't tell you how happy this made me once I did this the first time, because I'm just doing the edge real quick because this edge always gets corroded. But it made me so happy to get this because I went from basically the grit went from like 100 grit to like 400 grit. So instead of me reprofiling fast, it was taking me forever. Yeah, the Atoma diamond plates, that's very aggressive, and it loses aggression, but not quite like the VENEVs. But I didn't want to have to switch stones, especially when we were talking about the sharpening system, because I wanted to use the same height and everything. And once I switch stones, now I have to recalibrate my angles and all that stuff, all the good stuff. But yeah, and then I just wipe it down. It's really simple to clean off. It doesn't even really make too much of a mess. Your hands kind of get messy, but that's it. That's it. Clean this off. Let me set this. Hey, baby. I don't know. Who cares? Next to us playing our video games. All right, now, yeah, look at this stone. Look, you can actually see the diamonds now. You could not see them before. I know it's wet, and I could have done this for like a minute on each side. You guys seen how fast I did that? I didn't even spend any time on it. So if I spent about a minute or two on each side, not even, probably like 1 minute, this thing would be so aggressive, because the silicon carbide. I want to just put this in there. Put it away. Yeah, the silicon powder is very aggressive, but not to the diamonds. That's the point, and that's why I tell you guys to get your guys' selves a conditioning stone. You can get big aluminum oxide stones. You can get little aluminum oxide stones. It doesn't matter, but having some of those, the point is you don't ever use diamonds on diamonds. Never. So you never clean one of these with anything diamond that's going to mess everything up. You want to make sure the abrasive is not as hard as the abrasive you're cleaning. Always make sure the abrasive is not as aggressive as the abrasive you're cleaning. So, see, even my edges are even a little cleaner now. I can actually read this a little bit. This one's 180/125 micron. Oh, yeah. I could definitely see that I could have went a little bit longer. Holy cow, we got a chat. Gary, you're cheating. How are you even commenting? Maybe only if you donate you can comment? I don't get it. I thought only the members could comment. Maybe if you donate money, you can comment. I don't know how that works. I don't have the bell. Thank you, Gary. All right. So, while we're sitting here, since we're here anyways, let's sharpen something really quick. It's your guys' choice if you guys want me to use a system or freehand. But we can also, I want to talk about like a first step. If I was going to teaching sharpening, if I was going to have a step program, like, and actually thought about it through steps. Like, I'm not planning on doing it like this, but if I was thinking about it earlier, like if you had a class, right, and you had like, from the beginning to the middle to the end, steps in classes, the first thing I would want somebody to learn is how to hold a 20-degree angle. And the reason why is because 20-degree angle is a good angle on just about any edge. Now, is it as good as 15 or 17 degrees? Well, no. But sharpening a 15-degree angle on most knives takes a long fucking time. Like, it could take so long to do. So instead of making somebody hold and sharpen a knife for that long, get them to understand and learn how to hold a decent angle that's not too high, but it's also not too low, and get them to do just straight back and forth motions, knowing how to do this, how to get this thing across the stone at an angle, and then look at it and figure out if you're up too high, if you're holding it right. Would this be glasses as glass grinding? Would this be glasses as glass grinding? I don't understand what you mean, Steve. That plate was glass. Yes, the point is that glass they can make a completely flat surface out of, and the abrasive's not going to hurt it too bad. It scratches the hell out of it, but it doesn't matter. The point is it stays flat. But getting them to understand how to hold an angle, how to get it across the stone, and possibly with like a worn clip most likely, so they can just learn how to go straight across a stone. Then, because the whole point, the first thing I would want to learn or teach is how to hold the angle and how to use a coarse stone. None of the other stones matter. No stone, I can't repeat this enough. No stone matters but the first stone. That is the most important. All the other stones are shit until you learn the first stone, because it doesn't matter if you have the polishing stone or the mirror polishing stone. If you can't do great on this, all you're going to do is fuck your shit up with the other stones. This is the most important stone. This is the foundation. The other stones are just the toppings, right? So you have to learn how to set a bevel and deburr. And if you learn that, you already know how to polish. That's the point, right? But if you don't know this, none of the other stones matter. Let me see. It's like invigorating, like using one of those stones on the bottom. If you get this, get off. What's the plate thing cost? Norton flattening stones or what? So that one's I think $65. I'm going to put it in the chat for you guys. I would put it in the chat, but I don't think I can from my phone. But what I'll do is right when we're done with this, I'm going to comment on the video. I think I'll be able to comment afterwards. So I'll try to put a comment in because I can't get to my affiliate links through my computer. I got to go through my phone, and I will give you guys a link. If you guys need the links, contact me individually. I will send you the link. It's like $60. $60 for the abrasives, the glass, and that's it. Because the glass is really important, but if you have a flat piece of glass, you can order the silicon carbide powder separate. But I would recommend just getting the tray because it has edges on there and it kind of keeps everything like in a confined space. And the glass, it doesn't cost that much more. So, but learning how to set your bevel, most important part. So after you've helped, if you can learn how to hold an angle and get the blade across the stone and then repeat it, and also understanding what it feels like when you're repeating the angle is so important. Once you understand that, like right now, I have a burr from heel to tip. So now I would flip because I've held my angle on this side and I've created my edge bevel. Let's take a close look at it. I know the light's not that good right now. No, don't do that. Then, should I back it out a little farther? Now I need to get one on the other side. Now I'm using my finger as a guide, but I wouldn't recommend learning. I mean, you can do it like that, but a lot of people complain that it hurts their fingers and their fingers lose skin. So I wouldn't recommend doing it like that if it hurts you. But I would say you're using too much pressure if that's happening. But I still know how to do it without that. I use my finger as an angle guide because it gives me a perfect apex. There's a difference there because I wouldn't teach somebody how to get a perfect apex at first. I would teach them how to get a convex because it's so much easier and you're going to get still amazing results with a convex edge. One of these videos, I'm going to show how I do my convex edges, but I basically go like this, and then I go back like this. Go like this, then I go back like this. Then I go around like that, and I basically just go different directions like this. And what it does is it gives me different angles. And then sometimes I just go back and forth, and I'll still get the same thing. But if I want a perfect apex, I use my finger as a guide. And I go straight across. The next time when I set up, I'm going to have a list of things exactly what we're going to talk about, learn, work on. This was just a test run, guys. So anybody who's joining thinking like this is how the sharpening lives are going to be for the members, it's not. This is nothing. This is literally just for me to set up and figure out how the chat's going to go, because in order for me to set up, I have to do everything different through my live, how I schedule it, everything. Like technically I was supposed to send out a thing to all the members. I think I did though. I think I did that right. All right, I need to finish this. So after I create my burr on this side, which I'm going to have in just a few seconds. Okay, I do have it. My edge angle is not the best because I was messing around doing all the other shit. I can see I haven't hit the shoulder, but it looks good aside from I haven't hit the shoulder. So let's hit the shoulder really quick. Then we're going to knock the burr off, because even though this is a very coarse stone, it is the most important stone. So I should be able to reveal a good sharp apex and a good sharp edge from my coarser stone. So like right now, I had a burr on the one side. Now I have one on the other side. So now I would knock it off. So there's different ways I can knock it off. One, I can grab a ceramic. Where's my other ceramic? I can grab a ceramic. I can do a very light pass, then another very light pass. I can do it like that and then hit the strop. Or I can use the stone, or like I said, the ceramic. I'm going to use the stone. So what I would do is find my angle again, try to match it exactly, and then I'm going to do a super, super light pass. This is very, very light, no pressure at all. And I'm going to check it. Oh, it's mostly gone. I got a little tiny bit left. I think I had some of that silicon carbide powder on my stone. That didn't feel right. All right, let me yeah, I think I had some of that powder on my stone. You don't really want to use paper towels on your stones, but what you can do is once it's done, you want to fold it and get a fresh spot. Wipe it really quick, fold it, get a fresh spot. You're just kind of dusting it. Otherwise, the paper towel will come off on your stone and it'll coat it. I might have to hit this side again because of that powder that was on there, but so I'm just going to create my burr again on this side. I'm going to do it really quick one more time because that silicone powder, you don't want to do what I just did right there. That silica powder didn't feel right when I was deburring. It did something, so I should have cleaned it off better. That's me not doing things appropriately. I would say okay, but I don't think I would be able to hold that. What are you talking about? The knife and the angle? Well, lucky for you, we are going to be doing fixed angled sharpening. We're going to use the field sharpener from Work Sharp. Mastering that is like so important. And I almost thought about my first like couple videos should be only on that. Because even if you have the most high-end system, you should know how to at least hone, maintain your edge. Which with that little sharpening system, you can do a full edge. But if you learn how to hone with it and learn how to maintain your edge, that is so important. I don't care how much money you have in sharpening systems, you should know how to hone and strop. Even if you send your knives to me to sharpen, honing and stropping is just, you will make your edge last so much longer knowing how to maintain it. So that is something that I think I should teach first and foremost to the members. Now, some of you guys might know how to do it. Some of you guys might think you know how to do it. But you can always learn. Even I still learn a lot of stuff. Like sometimes what I'm still learning like certain steels on what's the most appropriate way to deburr that specific steel. Like the other week when I was dealing with S110V, holy shit. That stuff is crazy. It's like the most difficult steel to deburr. It's not like any other steel I've ever dealt with. and it almost doesn't make sense. And it makes you feel like you just messed everything up, because you will never, it's like you can't get the burr off. But the reason why is because you don't use the stone to deburr. You use a strop, which most steels, if you try to use a strop fresh off the stone, it's not going to work. You're not going to get the burr off like that. So let's knock this burr off. Okay, so we got the burr on this side. Theoretically, I'd like the burr to go from one side to the other, then back to the other side. That's what I'd like to do, and then let it snap off. You know, it doesn't always happen like that. So like now I have it on this side, so I'd like it to be, ooh, yeah. I'd like it to be perfectly on the other side, but you don't always hold a perfect angle, and the steel always doesn't respond the exact way you want. Now I'm being very gentle right now, very delicate. No pressure at all. I did 2 passes right there. Trying to make sure I got my angle right. No pressure at all. Perfect. All right, let's I feel a little piece of something right up here in the front. This stone is very coarse too, though, so, but I still want to be able to get a good sharp edge off of it. My next stone would really refine it and give me a good, really, I mean, this still gives you a sharp edge, but this is going to give me an aggressive edge. Use this strop. Let me try my blade off. Oh yeah, I can feel how aggressive this edge is. Normally, I wouldn't stop at this stone, but it is the most important to learn, because without knowing this stone, or your coarse stone, not necessarily this stone, but a coarse stone, you'll never learn any of the other stones. It is seriously the most important. Now you can see these lines that are on this leather right now. There's some burr left down here at the bottom. Now I can strop it, like if this was a fine edge, I would not strop as much. I'm stropping a little extra because it's such a coarse edge. Let's cut some. Somebody said the other day, oh, the old Smoky Mountain magazine. The only thing they're good for, testing edges. Thought that was funny. And this is a super coarse stone. Look at that. Look at how fine that edge is. And that's a super coarse stone. So this is a hyper aggressive edge, but you see how fine it can cut through paper? And that's my point. If you can get your edge keen off of this, well, then you're guaranteed to have a key, like, because the hardest stone to do, especially freehand, is going to be the polishing stone. And if you don't know what you're doing, and the reason why is because it's not aggressive. And when you're polishing, you can basically, you're trying to make, and I'm talking about for a mirrored edge right now. A mirrored edge, you have to be perfect to get a mirror edge. Those edges you guys see that are so shiny and mirror and crazy flat, that takes a lot of effort to not mess up, to get every scratch pattern out, or to get nice and flat. It's super easy to put facets on that. A coarse edge is a lot easier to make look good, to make it look appropriate. But with the mirror polished edges, I guess if you convex it, you got a little bit better chance, because convexing, you're going to be changing your angles a little bit. But for a V grind, it's tough, because all it takes is you to not hold your angle once, and now you got to go back over it. You could be almost done and put something on the edge and have to go right back over it. At Durbin, I use phone book paper. It's perfect for edge tests because it's fibrous and rips when you're having edge issues. Yeah, that's kind of what this stuff is. This is just what I have right now, but it's similar to phone book paper. But yeah, I use all different kinds of paper. I go through so much damn paper. I got to use what I got. But yeah, I use all different kinds of stuff. I used to. When I had it, I ran out of it, but I used to use tissue paper for like wrapping presents. That stuff is hard. Okay, so how many people are in here, and how many people have fixed angle systems? Or maybe we shouldn't even break that out right now, because this is a test run. But I do want to show, especially to the members, that how to use a fixed angle system professionally. Now, Blades and Fades, he knows how to use one professionally, but most people don't. Most people think you get a fixed angle system and that's the end of it. But that's not how it works. There is still a lot of practice, and you have to understand, one, how to do an edge, but two, how to not ruin your edge, because it's very easy to ruin the tip of your edge, ruin the plunge grind. You can ruin an edge so fast on a fixed angle system, almost faster than freehand. But I don't know. I guess I understand freehand, so that might be a huge statement. But it's very easy for you to round the tip of your edge. I couldn't tell you how many people send me knives because they fucked it up on a fixed angle system. Because what happens is you have it in the clamp. Let's just use this one for reference. You have it in the clamp, and when you're coming across the stone, you go like this, and it goes like that. That just chipped the very, very tip of the edge. So now you have to work that spot, right? You have to work that spot more, or you can work the whole edge, but it winds up driving you nuts, because it's like, man, I don't want to have to work this entire edge to get this little chip out. So then you'll work that part, right? And what'll happen is now this is improperly sharpened compared to the rest of the edge. So then you'll go back, and now you have to do the whole entire edge, and it will drive you nuts trying to get that little piece, because you have a whole edge that looks beautiful, and you have one spot on the tip that just looks wonky. So what you want to do is you want to, one, start from the heel to tip and work your way back and forth, but stop early. Stop early. Don't go past. Don't even get close to going past. If you, depending on the fixed angle system you have, you can put pressure. So you can decide if you want to put pressure on the right side or the left side. So what you do is, when you're coming across the stone, you put a little bit of pressure on the left-hand side and just let it get close. You want the center, like say if this is the stone, right? This is the stone. You want the tip of the edge to never go past the center of the stone. Now, there's going to be times where you're going to work on it and you might go a little bit past, but in those times you're focused, so you don't have the potential to go like this. Because once you go like that, now you just chip the tip of your knife. So you want it to stop halfway, like right there. So you go back and forth without going past. So let me grab this big system, because this is the two of the same thing right here. The difference is this is just more budget friendly. Yes, this is better. Yes, it holds the knife better. Yes, there's less flex, there's less everything, and yes, it's worth the price. But it essentially does the same thing. It's going to hold my knife. Let me grab this little tool. It's It's going to hold my knife. You know what? Let me grab this other knife really quick. You know what? Actually, I kind of wanted to freehand this one. This one I'm not too worried about. So, we're going to clamp this in really quick. And I have the new parts now for this system. I got this piece. Sorry, you guys can't see. I got this piece now, this piece, and then I got the universal stone holders. I also have the digi, but we don't need that. We don't really care right now. So I'm going to take a 6-inch stone. Take one of these fresh ones. See how I went to the thicker side on this one? This side is for diamond plates. They spin, but this side's for diamond plates or for my strop. Then the bigger side is for VENEV stones. So now I have to spin this just because this knob will hit things. Right now I have it set on about 13 degrees per side. So when I'm going across my stone, all right, when I'm going right here, I don't want to go farther than this because right now I'm already tipping and you can't even tell. So as I'm going across, and this goes for any fixed angled system, guys, any fixed angled system, just think of it universally. When I'm coming across the stone, right when I get to here, see what's about to happen? I'm already tilting. Right there, I just tilted. See that? That just hurt the edge. I don't want to do that. I want to make sure that I stop early. If you think you're going to, if you don't know how far to go, just stop earlier than whatever you think. Now, obviously don't stop before you hit the tip, but as long as you hit the tip with this side of the stone, you got it. I got it. I don't need to go all the way back here because see what just happened again? I tilted. Don't do that. Leave it. Let it stay flat. Now, if you get to a spot and you can see that all the rest of the edge is gone and you have a little bit more to do at the tip, just keep working at it. And if you get a spot and it's like it's not coming out, well, then we can go like this. We'll get to the spot and we'll go just like this. We'll go to here and we'll go. But what I'm doing is I'm not going like that. I'm going like this and I'm lifting up. I'm not letting the stone go down. It's not going down. It's going just like this and across. I'm basically just floating it across. I'm holding the same angle and I'm allowing it to hit the tip. You don't have to do that usually though, but there's going to be cases where you're going to want to do that just because depending on the tip, depending on the thickness, depending on a lot of things, you know, like there's always variables. So like right now, my stone is nice and dry. We don't want dry stone. We want wet stone. So like right now, I go across the back. See how I stop? See how I'm stopping early? Let me show you guys. Can you guys see that? Let me zoom in really quick. I'll even tilt it up a little bit for you. So I'm going across. I'm stopping. I'm not allowing this to go past that point. Really, I don't want it to go past the center of the stone. If it goes to anything, it's going to the center of the stone. Now, when I get to this, if I want to do this tip, I want to work it, I'm working it. But essentially, or you can actually do this. The next biggest problem you're going to have with a fixed angle system is going to be the heel. One of the biggest reasons why the heel is because that's going to be the most common misground area, the heel and the tip. The reason why the heel is because that's where they come in with the grinder. That's with the belt, when they're sharpening, that's where they first go in at. So that's where you're going to see the most frequent misgrinds. That's where you're going to see the edge is literally sometimes it's weird. Like you're like, how did they make this deeper right there? And you'll be sharpening and you'll never hit it. And the reason why, let me grab a piece of paper really quick. This can happen at the tip too, but let me show you guys what basically happens is, say if this is the edge, there's a spot that's deeper. Hold on, let me back out a little bit. There's a spot that's deeper right here. So you're sharpening this, right? But you can't hit this hole. So you have to remove all of this steel in order to get rid of this little dot. That little dot can be at the tip or the heel. It can actually be anywhere, but the most common places are going to be right here and right here. Because this is when they were grinding, this is where they came off, and this is where they entered. So you're going to notice those spots. Now, is it always worth it to get them out? No. Sometimes it'll be such a small little dot, you'll just be like, fuck it, just leave it. I'll get it on the next sharpening. And that's a good thing, because sometimes if your edge is perfect and that little dot there or at the tip, you know, because usually at the tip, it's right. Usually when it's at the tip, it's the back of the bevel is where it's going to be. Usually. Not always, but usually. At the heel, it's going to be right there in the middle. Right there in the middle of the edge. But does that affect your cutting? No. So since it's not going to affect your cutting, you know, it'll only affect the visual of it, how good it looks. So it'll be your choice of whether or not you really want to spend the time to get it out and also waste the steel. And yes, you're wasting steel, because that steel you're removing to get out that little spot, that little spot's not affecting anything. But that steel you're removing is your edge that you could be using for the next month. A lot of times it's at the tip and the heel. Annoying. I leave it. Right. In many cases, you're going to want to just leave it. Now, if you're trying to get one of them damn Instagram edges, though, you don't want to leave that shit, because you're trying to get an Instagram edge. Blades and Fades knows what I'm talking about. You want to get them Instagram edges. The last thing you want to do is show your edge off and the tip has a big old chip in it. It's not really a chip, but you guys know what I mean. It's a spot that you can see you didn't get. Then you'll get 50 comments saying, hey, man, that edge looks really nice, but that tip looks fucked up. You missed something at the heel there, pal. Now, let's talk about really quick before we end this, because I know this was a practice run, but I think this is going to be very important. I think this last little part I want to talk about, which we'll get more into. And like I said, I didn't have anything set up for this. This was just a practice run. The next one, when we do it, I will have topics we're going to hit, subjects we're going to hit, and I will have everything laid out exactly so I can show you guys. But one thing I want to make sure we go into on one of the next ones we do is following the grip pattern. The most important part about, like, because you've heard people say the most important part is chasing the burr, right? Maybe you haven't heard that, but that's a thing. Chasing the burr. Basically what it means is learning how to find the burr, learning how to identify the burr, and know how to feel it, right? But if you know how to chase the grit, if you know how to follow the grit pattern, then the burr you will already understand. You will already know when it's there, how long it's going to be, how much longer it's going to take, where you're missing it, where it's not hitting. And basically what that means is, I'm just going to, I'm going to grab this other knife, because I think this is going to be extremely important. And I'm going to show you guys. So I'm going to put this other knife in the system. And I know we haven't done a full edge. I'll tune these ones up later. But I'm going to put this knife in here, and I'm going to show you guys what I'm talking about with chasing the grit. I did a video on this a long time ago. So I'm going to take, now some people would use the marker trick. I don't like the marker trick. The reason why I don't like the marker trick personally, now you can use the marker trick if you want to. The reason why I personally don't is because it takes away from me seeing my grip pattern. Some people would say that it lets you see the grip pattern more, but I like being able to identify the grip really good. So I'm about 13 degrees. We're going to go to 15 degrees. We're at 15 right now. The edge angle that's already on it is probably 22 degrees. So I'm going to swipe across this edge right now, right? And what's happening is the stone is not going to hit the apex. The stone is going to hit up on top of the bevel, edge bevel. Basically, the stone is going to wind up hitting up here. Not that high, but I'm exaggerating. It's going to hit higher. It's not going to hit the edge. It's going to hit up here. So when I hit up there, what's essentially going to happen is the grit is going to have to work its way from the top of the edge bevel to the apex. The apex is the part that you first cut with, the sharpest part of the edge. That's the apex. So my grit pattern is going to hit the back of the edge bevel. And as I continue sharpening, it's going to work its way down from the top of the edge bevel to the very apex of the edge. Now, me being able to watch that happen, I can tell when I'm going to get a burr, how much longer it's going to take, how much more sharpening do I need to do. So watch when I go. I'm going to do a couple passes and I'm going to show you. Now, if you look at it, let me lay it back a little bit farther because I really want you guys to be able to see this. Oh, you know what? My thing's up a little high. Let me go to 6. There we go. Now, when you look at when you look at it now, you're going to notice, hopefully you guys can see this. I need to get the lighting right for the next time. But the stone has only hit the back of the edge bevel. Come on, focus. You guys are not going to be able to see it without me changing the lighting, I don't think. Come on. Come on. You can do it. Yeah, I got to get the lighting right. I'm sorry, guys. But basically, it's only hit the back of the bevel. So my goal now is to continue doing that until it hits the apex. And that would be me chasing the grip pattern, because now I'm going to be able, what the hell? Come on. I'm going to be able to see how much longer I need to sharpen to, if I need to change my angle, right? Because that's the difference between a good angle and a bad angle. Knowing how high the grip pattern is and how low the angle is, how high the angle is, all that stuff requires you understanding the grip. How it hits, how it looks compared to the last edge. Most factory edges, angles are very high. Most of them are very high angles. So you usually want to put a lower angle on it. The angles are usually a little too high to be appropriate on a factory edge. So what you do is you lower the angle and put a more appropriate edge angle on the knife so that it'll get better edge retention. It'll cut far better. It'll be far, far sharper. If most times when you get a knife from the factory and it doesn't feel that sharp, it's because the angle is too high. That's usually the cause. So when we do this, I'll probably do a real one next week or something, since this was only a practice run, and I don't feel that I'm not really happy with how this turned out. So I want to make sure I'm really happy with how one of these turn out. So what I'll probably do is next Sunday, we'll probably do this again, except for I'm going to have everything set up. I'll possibly put the camera in a different angle. I'll have the lighting face the right way. I'm going to have 5 to 10 subjects we're going to hit. And those are the subjects we're going to get really close, good visuals of, because we'll have good lighting and I'll have the camera set up appropriately. And we'll be able to hit those topics. And I want to make sure that no matter what, whoever's watching and commenting is going to understand exactly what I'm saying. So if you're confused about anything, you'll be able to tell me and I'll be able to see the chat and answer it. Any tips for making an extremely sharp edge even sharper? Lower the angle. That's basically the only way you can really do that. If you want to make an extremely sharp edge even sharper, lower the angle. You are going to make it more fragile, but you're going to get it sharper. Also, concentrating, and I know you were trying to be sarcastic, but understanding burr removal is so important, because the goal of sharpening is to create an edge bevel, 2 edge bevels, right? And then to create a wire at the tip of the edge and to knock it off and reveal an apex. That's the point. No pun intended. I was just playing with my new work sharp for the first time and did a knife that had a lot of little chips, which I almost got them all. Need to work at it some more. Get one of these stones. Get one of these, an Atoma 140. I linked them in some of the videos. Get one of these. It'll oh, if you don't have the clamp though, you're definitely going to want to get one of these stone holders for the work sharp. Do you have one of these, Yoda? Do you have a stone holder for the work sharp? Not the one that came with the work sharp. Do you have an aftermarket one? If not, get one. It's going to be a life. It'll be so much better, because then you can get stones like this, and this hogs metal. Like this will make hard work very easy. It removes metal so fast, and then you would have gotten the chips out with a stone like that. I need to get one of those. Yes, get a stone holder. And you can get an affordable one. Go on my aftermarket attachments video, and the guy in there 3D prints these. He'll make you one really, really cheap. Get one of these as well. Make sure you get one of these little stands. You want to get one of these. This is important. All you need is these 2. If you get both of these, you're good. These 2 are the most important parts of that set. Because I can get them scary sharp and pretty much perfect, but I'm always looking to make them even better. So I was just wondering if you had any tips or advice that I might not have heard of before. Well, yeah, I do. I definitely do. Because I've been there too, man. I've been there too, where it's like I've gotten to the highest potential I can get. But believe me, it always gets you. The more time you spend, and also even people like dealing with other people and their tips and the things that they do is really important. I'm trying to sell myself to you right now. But but seriously though, no, I'm just spending more time lowering the angle, practicing revealing the burr removal for the apex. But another thing, the different steels, right? Certain steels are going to be better for you than maybe for somebody else, because some steels, like all steels, get really sharp. Some get sharper than others. Some have better edge stability and things like that. But another thing is that some steels are going to be better for you, right? Because of how much pressure you use, the type of stones you use, and all kinds of stuff. Is that the one with the father and son business? Are you talking about these? This is just a guy with a 3D printer. I did a video on it. Look up my Work Sharp aftermarket attachments video. You'll see a whole bunch of plastic parts laying around the Work Sharp system. a whole bunch of parts like this. So if you see a bunch of parts like this, that's the video. I've made a couple of them, so make sure it's the one with a lot of parts laying around the system. And go in the links and hit the link. He has an Etsy store, and you'll be able to get all the parts. All you'll want to get is those 2 parts, though. Where do you live, Yoda? Are you in the United States? With chisel sharpened to 30K, the 30K part of the sharp lasts only a couple of slices. Well, that's because depending on the steel, it depends on the edge stability. So some steels are not going to do well at 30K grit. 30K grit might be too fine for some steels because of its edge stability. You want a steel with really good edge stability to withstand a fine edge like that, because then, and that's what I always talk about, fine edge holding. A steel that can hold fine edge. That to me is like the most important part. I want a steel that, what's up, Spanky? He became a Kershaw. I should have named it Gerber. Nobody would become a Gerber. Anyways, the edge stability, that's why I'm always chasing steels with fine edge holding. Total edge holding, yes, it's really good. You want your edge to last a long time. But I don't care if my steel will last 1,000 cuts if my fine edge goes away in one. I want a steel that holds a long-lasting fine edge. Which lapping film microns are good to start with? If my highest grit stone is the 1500 that came with the KME, or should I? No, you can get the 60 grit. If you're talking about all the lapping films, you're not talking about the flattening stuff, right? You're talking about actual lapping films. If you're 1500 grit, so your next one would want to be like 2000 and 2500, 3000, or you can just jump right from 2500. The higher it is, the higher you can jump. So if you're at 2000 grit, you can jump to 3500 grit. Now, usually, if you really want that fucking killer mirror edge, then you're going to want short spurts. You're going to want to go from like 2000, 2500, 2500 to 3000, 3000 to like 35, 3700, like that. But you can do higher jumps when you're higher in grit. Lower in grit is when you want to do the lower jumps. Like, so from 100 grit to 200 grit, 200 grit to 400 grit, 400 grit to 800 grit, so on and so forth, because the scratches are so deep. You're trying to make them smaller and smaller. And if you jump from 100 grit to 1,000 grit, 1,000 grit will take so long to get out 400 grit or 100 grit or whatever, because it's a really deep scratch. A2 steel hardened in Rockwell at 66. I don't know a lot about A2 steel, so I can't really speak for it. I really like Crew Wear's really good. K390's really good. Like steels like Maximet, I'm not a big fan of because the fine edge holding sucks. It has a working edge that lasts forever, but from my experience, the fine edge goes away so fast. MagnaCut, though, seems like it's really good. I'm very impressed with MagnaCut. Now, I've spoke about this already, but I have some MagnaCut possibly coming. It's 64.5 HRC with a custom heat treat for the Demco 80 20.5 and a spear point hollow ground blade. That is going to be fucking amazing. And after seeing what that mule did, I can only imagine with 64.5 HRC, at 10 thousandths behind the edge. Man, whew, that's going to be amazing. It's going to be so amazing. Now, me right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do what's called a trailing pass or whatever. I'm going to do a reverse pass. I'm just knocking off the burr. That's all I'm doing, knocking off the burr. That's why I did that. Because the reason why is because think about it like a saw blade. All my grip pattern was facing towards me right now, like serrations. So I'm knocking them off from the spine of the serrations rather than using my stone to hit the needle points of the serrations. It just does more damage to my stone. Is it that big of a deal? Not really. But when you do as much sharpening as me, you try to take care of your stones as much as possible. Now you're going to notice I'm not going to go past with the tip, or at least I'm not going to try to. You guys might see me do it. Sometimes I'll be rushing and I'll literally go wham, and I'll get mad. Carol will hear me cuss, fuck, because I'll be like almost to my polishing stone or something. I'll be so mad. Now, I know I talk a lot about edge angle, but at first, when you're first learning sharpening, what angle isn't such a big deal. It's just being able to hold the edge angle. That's good to hear about MagnaCut. Yeah, MagnaCut, man. I am so impressed with it, man. I honestly, I was seriously ready to not shit on it, I guess, but just basically say this stuff's not good for folding knives. It's basically a pocket knife steel, because I heard a couple other people, but I think their experiences were bad. And not that like I was going to say it, without experiencing it, but like that's what I thought I was going to experience. Then after I experienced what I did, it was like, holy shit, this stuff's amazing. See, with this one, my heel right here, I can see that this is misground just a little bit right here at the heel. Tiny bit, like we were just talking about, the heels and the tips, right? The heels and the tips. The tip on this one seems pretty good, but the heel is not great. I'm not holding this right here, and I'm holding right here. The reason why is because when I get to here, only on this side. When I do the other side, I'm fine. But a lot of times when I'm right here, this can rotate and it'll allow me to go off the stone. I get a lot more control when I hold it right here. That's the only reason why I'm doing that. It's just for control purposes. When did this start? A long time ago, Breeze. Breeze, are you a member? Is Breeze a member? It says he's a moderator, but they said moderators wouldn't be able to join. Maybe everybody's allowed to join right now, and I got it fucked up. I could have swore I threw it on members only. I'm glad you're here, though. This started a while ago. We're going to be ending here soon. This was just a test run for the members' lives. I wanted to see how to set it up where I only have members come in, and I was trying to do it where everybody could watch, but only members could communicate. That's what I was trying to do. I thought it was pretty successful, but I'm kind of questioning it now. But I only see members really commenting for the most part. Unless if everybody's just not commenting. It's like, I don't want them to know I'm here. Technically, I have like 10 knives here for sharpening. I want to be sharpening probably till midnight tonight. I got a couple videos I got to upload. I got one about the button lock, so don't miss that, guys. If for how to fix the button lock bag lighter, it's only a 2-minute video, so hopefully you guys watch the entire thing. It's kind of crazy because I always think like, okay, people usually only watch 4 minutes of my videos, so if I upload a 4-minute video, I should get like 100% watch time, right? No, fuck no. Those guys will watch 30 seconds. It's like if I upload a 20-minute video, you watch 4 minutes. If I upload a 4-minute video, or no, sorry, if I upload a 20-minute video, you only watch 4 minutes. If I upload a 4-minute video, 30 seconds. Oh, guess what? This was so funny. So Metal Complex contacts me earlier, and he sends me a screenshot. Nick Shabazz sent him a message saying Neves Knives is coming for you. I love it. Oh, that was so great. Like, that just totally made my day. Like, oh, Nick, you're awesome, man. I don't know how he got to doing that. I don't know who told him to say that. But it is amazing that Nick Shabazz trolled Metal Complex about these knives coming for him. I don't remember telling Nick to do that or anything. I don't talk to Nick, so I've made a couple comments on his videos, which I was so awesome. I just clicked YouTube and it was like, yo, Jared's on live, so I clicked. Really? Huh. Well, I know there's 60 people in here, and I only have 18 members. So hey, if you're not a member right now and you're watching, do me a favor and comment. I can see 60 people are in here, so would a non-member please comment so I can see if it's allowing you to. Because Breeze might only be able to comment because he's a moderator, but it said moderators weren't going to be able to. Yeah, they can't. Okay. All right. So he's probably watching silently or he's trolling us. No, Breeze is here. He's watching. Breeze don't fuck around. Even if he couldn't come in, he'll find a way. He'll sneak in the back door. Fucking Breeze.
Oh my god.
One time, guys, I was sharpening and I came off the stone like this. I came off and I went, wham, cut the shit out of myself. And it was at the end where the edge was so sharp. And I barely got it, but it cut me bad. It wasn't on this system, but it was on a system. Yeah, I can see how it's misground over here at the heel, but whatever, fuck it. Just is what it is. I'll let it come out in the next sharpening of it. I don't want to remove too much steel for nothing. Kind of like I was saying earlier. You don't want to remove steel that you can still use that's not going to affect your cutting too bad. That shouldn't affect my cutting too bad. I'll still get a burr on the other side. Oh, yeah. I still got a burr. Oh, yeah. I got a nice burr. Normally, I do this, though. Normally, I have this like this. I do it like this. I don't have nothing set up how I normally do it. Now, watch now I'm going to do a reverse pass. See how I did that? Knocking the burr off. There's actually something to that, too. Like, there's been tests done showing how that actually reveals a better apex than if you do it the other way. Gary, non-members liking commonly comment if they so they can comment if they donate. Well, that's fucking awesome. That's amazing. I guess it's kind of like well, it's kind of like the members pay, right? Yep. To comment. So why shouldn't the commenters? I guess that's the way YouTube's looking at it. Now, really quick, a tip and trick to this system. If you want to get a polished edge. Mark, thank you, man. I appreciate you coming a member. Hell yeah.
I'm going to start streaming my game for free, so all those people that have to pay on your channel You just come watch this for free.
Is that how it works?
I'm gonna start putting up a competing stream.
Mark Moles in the house. So one thing with these fixed angled systems, right? If you want to get a perfect edge at the end, meaning at the end of your sharpening, when this goes for polishing mostly, but anytime. So say if I work the heel, I go back here and then I come up here and I work the tip. I have to do complete edge passes now. The grit is deeper here now. So it will show in the end. So what I need to do now is I need to even it out and do full strokes. You have to do that. So what that's doing is it's blending it in and it's matching up the parts that I made deeper. It's matching them up. So now I will wind up getting a way, way better. You'll be at the end in your last stone wondering, why can't I get these scratches out? Why does it look wonky? Why does this part look like it's not polished and these other parts do? That's why. You have to blend it in with every single stone. Very nice. Now I'm going to do a reverse pass so I can knock that burr off. Don't work it. Let me look at this tip really quick. And you don't want to hit it with a rag without knocking the burr off, because otherwise it'll wind up taking paper towel with it. You'll have little crumbs of paper towel all over your stone and all over your edge.
You don't want that.
Like Kara said, you don't want that.
You don't want it. You don't want it.
Kara's gaming right behind you guys.
Got it. I'm stuck though.
So now you see how much faster these stones went than the first stone? Now, same thing goes with the freehand stones. When you're freehanding, you want, that's why the first stone is so important, because one, all the other stones will go faster, but two, you have everything done already. All you're doing is replacing the old grip pattern with a finer grip pattern. And you want to get a burr with each one. So yeah, Mindy can watch, but she cannot comment. Nice. She's going to have to donate. Nice. So it sounds like only moderators and members.
I guess the mods work for you coming up for free, so it's kind of fair.
Yeah, that's true. Now remember, guys, this is only a test run. I'm just kind of messing around at this point, hanging out with you guys and just shooting the shit. But the actual live, the next actual live is going to be very different than this one. Well, yeah, more sophisticated. Yeah, be more fancy. More fancy like. I'm going to just replace the grip pattern a little bit more.
Oh.
But I do think it's very important for everybody, even if you're going to be using a fixed angled system and you're planning on getting mostly fixed angled system sharpening knowledge off of this, I still think it's going to be important for you to join the times when we talk about freehand and honing, because even if most of your sharpening, 98%, or even if 100% of all your sharpening goes in, comes from a fixed angle system, you're still going to want to know how to hone your edge. And the knowledge of knowing how to freehand, even if you can't actually do it, the knowledge you get from it is universal. It goes with both ways because you're doing the exact same thing. I actually got better with both from learning both. Like, I was better using a fixed angle system because of freehanding and vice versa. They both taught me different things. And honing is so important. What is honing? Let's talk about what honing is. Honing, there's two ways to look at it. You can look at it as it's your last stone, your last final finishing stones. That's honing. But it also goes the same way with, say, you sharpened your edge, your knife is very sharp, and you go to work and you use it. Now you have minor damages to your edge from using it that day. Bringing your edge back to keen and getting your fine edge to come back, that is honing. A lot of times you'll hear it from straight razor people that use straight razors and they shave their face with a razor. They do lots of honing. The reason why is because they have to have a fine edge. They can't shave their face with a coarse edge. So after they've created their edge on their straight razor, they'll go back and they'll wind up doing a full sharpening eventually, but they try to keep their straight razor going with a fine edge as long as possible. And what that means is right before shaving, they take and they hone their edge. They take their finishing stone, like say a hard Arkansas or whatever stone they're going to use, and they hone their edge really quick. They're going to do passes on each side and get that keen fine edge back. Which is going to make their shave so much better. Well, same thing with your, just wiping off that silicon carbide from earlier. Same thing with your knife, right? You come home and the strop's not working. Wrong side. The strop's not working. Why? Why isn't the strop working? Well, it's not aggressive enough. It's not coarse enough. It's not hard enough to do any effect to what you've already done to your edge. Do you need to resharpen it? No, you do not need to resharpen. You're not trying. I got that silicon carbide shit on my stones. You do not want to remove steel at that point. What you're trying to do is hone your edge. You want to just bring back, basically straighten your edge out and bring back teeth to your apex. And that is done with your fine stone or finishing stone. Then you hit it on the strop. Now, if the strop works, then you don't need to hone. But in many cases, you have a microchip or a rolled edge, especially if you make your edges really fine and keen, then you're going to experience that a lot more than somebody who has a really tough edge. Somebody with a really tough edge is most likely going to want to strop more because their edge is tough, so they're not really experiencing microchipping or rolling. Their edge just won't stay fucking sharp. Their edge just loses the bite. So you will most likely, with a very low angle, a very fine edge, will most likely experience more edge rolling and chipping. So honing is going to help line that edge back up so that you can hit it with the strop and bring back some bite. And with some stones, you know, like especially these VENEV stones, when you hone with them, man, you can bring back your edge from basically slick as snot, you know, where there's like no bite at all, to having a lot of bite because there's diamonds. So the diamonds cut little tiny serrations in the edge and make it have that bite that you need and want. You can do the same thing with stropping, but in many cases that you need more, right? The strop just isn't aggressive enough to do it. Not saying it can't, because it does depend on what micron your compound is and everything else. So I can see the heel. I'm going to get that on the second sharpening, because like we said before, we don't want to remove steel. We don't have to. And now I'm going to 5,000 grit. This is my 3/2 micron, 5,000 grit. We did clean it with the silicon carbide, so it's nice and aggressive. I'm just going to start right on the side I just finished with. It's not that big of a deal. I can feel, I should have rinsed these really good before using them. I was trying to show you guys how that stuff works. Normally I'd rinse them off really good. It's called cross-contamination. That's what I got. Some cross-contamination basically between that silicon carbide flattening stuff, the stuff I flattened the stones with earlier. Oh yeah, that edge feels real good. And then just in 1 second, I'm going to do a burr removal. Even though this high of a grit, you don't get a big burr. I mean, you can, but you're going to spend a long time on the stone. So you usually don't spend that long on your finishing stone, unless if you're doing freehand maybe. So I'm not going to have too much of a burr. So I'm just going to do burr removal. 1 pass. 2 pass. I'm going to do 1 more. And then since I'm going to flip, I'm going to do 1 more, and then that's it. Bam. We're done. Now I'm going to take this out, and we are going to see if we should hit it on the strop. Because you don't usually need to hit it on a strop off of a VENEV stone, but you can. And sometimes it is good. It depends on the steel, depends on a lot of things. That fucker's sharp, boy. All right, I'm going to hit it just because I don't really need to, but I'm going to do it just for the camera, for you guys. We're going to do 1 micron. Since we just came off of 2, can you guys see that really good? Yeah. And we're going to do a complete episode all about stropping. That is so important to know how to strop properly. It is. It took me, I thought I knew how to strop. I literally thought I was like really good at stropping until I learned how to really strop. And I found out how bad I was at stropping. All right. Let's take a piece of this stuff. I got it all wet, but this is so sharp. I could definitely whittle hair right now with this. 100%. But yeah, when we set up the next time, like I said, I'm going to have everything set up, and we're going to have like 5 to 10 subjects per live, and we're going to hit those subjects. Now, people that join, they can ask questions if they want, and we'll hit those subjects as well, because I think that's important to figure out exactly what people are wanting to work on. And if they already know the live's coming, they can tell me the questions ahead of time so I can have the stuff pre-planned and set up to talk about. Now, the camera setup, the angle, I'm probably going to do something a little different next time. I think I'm going to move you guys right here, so you guys are really looking at me directly. And I might possibly, oh, I know for sure I'm going to set up the lighting differently so that you guys can see the edges. Let's actually check this edge out. Let's see if you guys can see it or not. I don't know if it's going to work. Let me zoom in a little bit. Polished stone or polished edges do not like cameras, especially with the bad lighting. It's very nice. Nice and polished. I do have a spot at this heel. But Smoky Mountain Knives catalog have been given their lives to edge testing for many years. Ain't that the truth? Lion Steel makes good stuff. Cutting knife paper with a knife. Now that's classy. Absolutely. Let's do a napkin. How about that? This is hard to cut. So let's do this one. Oh, we're kind of snagged right there. Let's do another one. I kind of fluffed that one all up. All right, I messed up at the end, but it still cut it pretty clean. Got a little messed up at the end. Whew, that fucker's so sharp. But there you guys go. Let's end this here because I know it's probably starting to get boring for some of you guys. And like I said, this is just a test run. We are going to do some awesome shit with this now that I know how to set it up and actually, because the problem was I didn't even know how to go live for the members only. Now I know how to. So now I know exactly what I need to do with the camera and the setup. We are going to make this happen better. And I might possibly the next time too do it with my face in it. I'm not sure because the problem is if I have my face in it, then it's hard for me to zoom in. But one way I can do it is if I set up two cameras. If I set up two cameras,
invite yourself in.
What?
And then invite yourself in.
Yeah, I'll invite myself in.
Face cam like a gamer.
Well, I'll do like my phone, right?
Yeah.
Where it's my face is on it, and I have the other one. I can switch back and forth.
Or you can have your face little up in the corner.
I don't know how to do that. What do you mean? Oh, you're talking about with the phone though.
Yeah, but like with your phone camera, you know how like the people I watch that play games, how their faces are?
Yeah.
Like that.
Okay.
Or half and half.
So yeah, we're gonna do that, guys. Thank you guys for joining. I do appreciate all the members of the Bang Gang Squad. This is gonna be really awesome. Doing this twice a month, and then I'm gonna upload little videos as well, and extra shit too. So we're gonna figure it out. I do want to. Somebody gave me a good idea of taking little clips from these and uploading them to different places so that people can see what they're missing. And then we are also going to have exclusive content, meaning nobody else can join but you guys. But I'll probably run the first couple, letting people watch if they want to, just so they can see what they're missing out on. Give them a little teaser. But thank you guys for joining. I love you guys. Thank you guys for helping me out with the test run. And now we know what we need to do. So the next one is going to be badass. I love you guys. Peace. Open in cutter. What is that? What does that mean?
What?
Open in cutter. What does that mean?
Cutter is like a YouTube cutter.
I don't. How do you use it?
What is saying that? Man?
It's at the bottom of the screen.
I don't know why it would be saying that. I'm not really sure.
I don't know what that means. All right.
What the fuck is going on?
I don't know. Oh, there we go. End broadcast.
god, this is so annoying.